Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with red, official weight 167 1/2 pounds. This 2000 U.S. Olympian has a professional record consisting of 24 victories, including 17 knockouts with only 1 defeat. From St. Petersburg, Florida, the former super middleweight champion of the world, Jeff Left Hook Lacy. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with gold, official weight 167 1/2 pounds. This 2000 Olympic bronze medalist professional record now stands at 27 victories, including 17 knockouts, 2 defeats with 1 draw. From Little Rock, Arkansas, the former undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor.
Jermain. Come on, Jeff. Let's go, Jermain. All right, gentlemen. Went over instructions are in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands. Protect yourselves all times, understood? Touch them up. Best of luck to both of y'all. Thank you.
Losing sometimes can be like winning and being its own reward if a fighter can take stock, get off the floor, and come back.
Bucket.
Which one of these athletes will do that tonight?
Ready, guys? Box.
Round 1 begins. And if Jermain Taylor follows the instruction from his trainer, Ozell Nelson, it's bounce on his toes, move, create angles, jab, and constantly impose his speed on Lacy. He doesn't want Taylor standing still and making himself in some way susceptible to one of the big shots with which Lacy might conceivably change the fight. There's a scar on Jeff Lacy's left shoulder, Emmanuel Stewart, and it's a very marked piece of memory for a fighter who was nicknamed Left Hook through most of his career, because against Vitaly Sipko in the fight which followed the Calzaghe fight, he completely ripped the left shoulder apart, tearing the tendons off of the shoulder bone and needed reconstructive surgery to put it back together. He says that it's really been until now before he was ready to feel as though the shoulder was completely repaired and ready to go. But can a fighter ever regain total confidence after an injury like that?
Yes, I can, but I don't know if that's going to be the case in Jeff's case, and I don't know if the shoulder is that big a factor now at this stage. I think it probably has been fully healed. But both guys are fighting technical fights now. They're both intended to box. You know, Jermain's good right-handed he has is often telegraphed, so to say, as we're in the game saying his own promoter, Luda Bella, says like a bow and arrow right hand. He shoots his jab and he winds the right hand up before he shoots it. So that's why oftentimes it doesn't land.
It's Taylor's first trip to 168 pounds. Back when you were training him, we always referred to him as a big middleweight. Do you think this weight will be better for him?
I think it'll be good for him. You know, he's mentioned he possibly may even go back to 160, maybe 175. But I think this is a comfortable weight for him.
It may be a comfortable weight, but he doesn't look particularly comfortable in the ring right now.
Tactical first round by both fighters. They've stayed in the center of the ring. There's a pretty good left hook by Jermain Taylor that momentarily drives Lacy back.
Conventional wisdom was that Lacy should get inside because he's the shorter man with the shorter arms and try to make his stand there, but he is very content to stay outside.
Good right hand over the top by Taylor. And a good right hand up the pipe by Jeff Lacy. The hidden benefit of the bad left shoulder injury for Lacy, scratch and sniff as it's been, he's learned to win in the last couple of fights, mostly with his right hand.
Stop! Stop! Come here, guys. When we get tied up, don't hit on the back of the heads, all right? Understand? Box!
in here. Jermain. Good. That's what I want to see. Come out here. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good, baby. Hey. Go ahead. Go ahead. That jab is coming. Just go ahead and keep turning. If he him you up in the corner, grab his ass and hold it and turn it. Keep him turning.
And when you do set up in front, don't be afraid to take a step back and then step back in. So you want to step around him, just keep giving him angles, keep that jab hand on him. You caught him with a nice body shot, just keep touching him. Don't try to knock him out yet, just box him. Looking pretty soft around the middle.
Let's go.
With about a minute to go in round one, when Larry Merchant said Taylor didn't look all that comfortable in the ring, he was right. Jermain, to that moment, had only landed 3 punches. But down the stretch of the round, CompuBox gave Taylor credit for landing 9 blows, including 1 solid left hook and 1 right cross, and that probably gave Jermain the round. 12 out of 33 for Taylor, 5 out of 34 for Lacy by CompuBox count in round one. And you heard Roger Bloodworth suggesting to Lacy as he left his corner that he thought Taylor looked a little soft around the middle. An obvious ploy on the part of the trainer to try to get Jeff to throw some body punches.
Yeah, but I think Jermain looks normal. You know, everybody's not going to be cutting fit. It's one of the problems I always thought that Lacy had. It seemed like recently he's been spending too much time more into weightlifting. This is one of the few fights that he's come in that he didn't come in with all of that muscle type outfit, the military gloves, and showing his muscles. And he's focusing on boxing more. But Jermain is a more fluid fighter.
Both fighters have landed some good popping jabs in this round. Lacy landed 1 cracking right hand down the middle over the top. And there, Taylor with the double jab and a right hand all landed.
Jermain is boxing very good right now. He started off his career and got a lot of credibility, mainly because of that beautiful left jab of his, which he abandoned for a while. But he looked like he's boxing tonight, and him and his trainer, Ozell Nelson, have been working on using that left hand every day a lot more.
Taylor able to catch Lacy with the left coming in.
Lacy still punches a lot like a weightlifter. His punches don't come off as easy as Jermain's is. Jermain's is much faster.
Taylor getting off bunches of punches, usually in comparison to 1 or 2 at a time by Lacy. A couple of left hooks partially blocked by Lacy. Jeff rushes in and they clinch.
Box!
Now Lacy begins to try to work to Taylor's body as Jermain backs up against the ropes. And the double jab by Taylor. And Taylor showing an uppercut as Lacy leaned in on it.
If Lacy wants to box Taylor is telling him that's not the way to beat him. He's going to have to go inside and fight him.
Hard right hand by Taylor, followed by a left hook. Lacy manages to stick a jab. Right hand sailed past Taylor's head. It's a pretty good round for Jermain Taylor.
Damn good job.
Tomorrow night, don't miss the premiere of our 4-episode series, De La Hoya Pacquiao 24/7, offering a look into the lives of Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao in training camp and beyond as their super fight fast approaches. Many storylines there. And December 6th, catch the mega matchup live, De La Hoya and Pacquiao, a fascinating showdown between 2 of the sport's most accomplished, most visible, most popular fighters.
You caught him with a nice right hand. When you catch him, he's going to come right back. So when you catch him, you got to go defense. You're doing well. You're doing real well. You hit it with a couple more like that, we're going home early. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get excited. Box a bitch.
There's no official title at stake here, but since Lacy's from Florida and Jermain Taylor is from Arkansas, maybe it's the Southeast Conference
and the
Championship.
And the fight is in Nashville, Tennessee.
Jabs through round 2 by CompuBox count. Taylor 16 out of 52. Lacy 4 of 52. Taylor with a big connect advantage by CompuBox count in the second round, 18-7. Roger Bloodworth may be trying to keep his fighter's confidence up, as he told Jeff Lacey when he left the corner, just keep doing what you're doing and land a couple more big shots. We'll be able to go home early. Obviously, Lacey isn't likely to win the volume contest.
In addition to jabbing good, Jermain is also very defense conscious. He's very much aware of Lacey's right hand, evidently. He's keeping his hands up very good every time that Lacy starts coming forward.
But what happened to his left hook? All of his success early on was with the left hook. Is he just abandoned it? Can't he throw it anymore?
I think his caliber of opponents just increased a lot as he got to the top. And I've always said he's a little too slow because I see too much tight muscles in it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that may be most misleading to the general public. Jeff Lacey has the Mr. Universe body of boxers, but this is not necessarily a sport for those who are built like the proverbial outhouse. It's better to have looser, longer, quicker, more responsive muscles, like Kelly Pavlik, who beat Jermain Taylor twice.
And most of your big punchers, you have a lot of them, they were explosive at the end of their punches. Thomas Hearns, for example, Lennox Lewis, and all those type guys, Ray Robinson. Usually, muscle guys don't have that much punching power, particularly after 5 or 6 rounds. The muscles get tired and fatigued. Mike Tyson was one of the exceptions, but he was a naturally built little compact muscular guy. Wasn't through weightlifting.
Hey, who said Tyson didn't get tired after 5 or 6 rounds?
That's true. Very seldom did he score knockouts in the late rounds.
Very seldom did he have to.
Good combination by Taylor. Wobbles Lacey with a right and a left. Lacey grabs Taylor coming in. Jermain Taylor made a big impression with the right cross left hook combination, and Jeff Lacey still doesn't have his legs, as he acknowledges by grabbing Taylor again.
Well, this is where we'll find out how close they are as friends. Is Lacey going in to finish him? I'm sorry, Taylor.
This is the Taylor who went after Kelly Pavlik in the second round in Atlantic City, thinking he's got his opponent hurt.
But he's placing his punches a lot better this time, and he's not getting overexcited and just winging punches. He's making sure all of his punches have a target before he lets them go.
Taylor could score an early to middle round knockout of Jeff Lacey. It would be quite an entry statement into the 168-pound weight class.
And that's very possible too tonight.
You okay? Yeah. All right, listen to me.
Yeah.
When you get hurt, move. Don't stand in there. Move and use the jab, all right? He caught you with an uppercut.
When you hold him, just use your right hand when your right hand free while you hold it. Hit him.
Exactly. When he goes up, you got to hit him on arms. He's waiting for you to bend over in front of you so you bring him up.
Here you see Jermain shoots a left uppercut after shooting a right hand, and the right uppercut moved his body in position for the left hook, and he never saw the left hook. Here we see it again. The right hand came and the left hook came from a different angle, and he never saw it.
Well, he seemed to see it, but Taylor threw it past his glove.
Jermain is putting together his combinations very well tonight. Fighting very intelligent, very conservative, and working everything behind his jab.
And with edges in all of the important CompuBox categories. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor. Jim, I got to tell you, in round 1, he was landing one punch at a time. In round 2, he started doubling, landing combinations. In round 3, he came about as close to a 10-8 round as I've ever seen. I thought he hurt Lacey, he staggered him. 3-0 Taylor.
With a minute to go in round 4, Jermain Taylor has Jeff Lacey totally on the defensive, is faster, has been more powerful, has landed the cleaner shots, and seems very comfortable with what he's doing. Jeff Lacey needs a game changer of some sort.
He's unable to fight on the inside. I don't know if it's because he can't, or he doesn't want to pay the price to get inside, or he doesn't know how, but he has to be right there. He has to battle Taylor right there.
You know, just to extend the discussion we were having the last round, Emmanuel, about body type and how looser, lankier muscles look better. One of the best examples is Calzaghe.
Yeah, very flexible, very loose guy.
Another hard right hand by Taylor, and Lacy grabs and holds for the third time in the fight. Jermain Taylor has hurt Jeff Lacy both with right hands and with left hooks. Lacy becoming increasingly a sitting duck for Taylor's jab.
Lacy has never before been an underdog in a fight, including when he fought Joe Calzaghe. But he is fighting like an underdog tonight.
Big right hand by Taylor. Lacy's in trouble again. And Jeff's going to have to grab and hold for the fourth time in the fight. Taylor's fluidity and hand speed tonight becoming more impressive with each passing round.
And it's a variety of punches too. He's shooting right hand, jab, hooks, uppercuts. And, you know, he seems to be so relaxed. And his defense is great tonight too. So I'm very impressed with the way whenever he feels Lacy coming forward, he puts his hands up to protect him.
Looking at this, I'm thinking it's a mistake to even consider going back down to 160 pounds. He was clearly struggling to make 160 in the last few assignments at that weight level, and he looks extremely comfortable at super middleweight tonight. Good body shot by Jermain Taylor to punctuate the round. A vicious left hook to the ribcage.
Hey, keep taking your time, baby. It's gonna come. Don't rush yourself. Don't panic. Don't rush yourself. But he'll start passing. He'll start lunging in. Step over to the side. Maradona on the board. Quick. Got it?
You're turning great.
Same thing.
Deep breath, baby.
But don't stand out there. Look, don't stand out there looking at him waiting for that counter shot. It ain't coming. You got to make it happen.
Here you see Jermain land a beautiful 1-2 and followed with a combination, a repeat of the same combination again. And then try to body punch on top of that. He's mixing up his punches very well tonight.
In the speed equation, it's all Taylor. Just as last week in Jones-Calzaghe, the speed equation always matters. Jones, who has always had the faster hands than anybody else, came up to somebody who was as fast or faster. You saw the result.
What a crowded weight class. 168 pounds is suddenly turning out to be. Joe Calzaghe is still the reigning champion, but doesn't appear as though he'll fight in this division again. You're looking at two big-name fighters in Jermain Taylor and Jeff Lacy. There's Mikkel Kessler, the Dane, who still has only one loss, that one to Calzaghe. Lucien Boutet of Montreal, unbeaten. Librado Andrade, who pressed Boutet to the limit before losing to him 2 weeks ago. Anthony Mundine, who doesn't leave Australia, but has a glittering record down there. Two rising Americans, Andre Ward and Andre Durrell. This could be a festival of great fights in this division over the course of the next few years.
We got some young comers coming up too. That's going to be very exciting too.
Down goes Taylor on a right-hand counter shot. And Lawrence Cole is going to say that it wasn't a knockdown.
Why not?
Why was that not a knockdown?
Would he have gone down if he wasn't hit? Why wasn't that a knockdown?
Seemingly an amazing lucky break for Taylor, as by my lights, Lacy prompted the fall down with a counter right hand.
Which makes it a whole different fight, scoring-wise.
Taylor's fighting as though it was a real knockdown.
Yeah, he's fighting as if he hasn't did anything aggressively or offensive since that knockdown, even though it wasn't called a knockdown. And looking at the expression in Lacy's eyes, you can tell he felt it was a knockdown.
Almost as if Taylor got just a tad overconfident. Things were going so easily for him.
And the right hand comes out of nowhere.
Well, Lacy kept saying that he can throw the right over that jab, and he did.
Now there's a good counter shot by Taylor. Firing back with a left hook, but the fight threatens to become a brawl and that wasn't the Taylor plan.
No, in fact, you know, I know what one right hand can do. I remember how they rocked with Lennox Lewis in South Africa.
Do you now?
Yes, I do. And I'm hoping not to experience that again on December the 13th.
Talking about Rahman against Vladimir Klitschko in Mannheim, Germany. And, of course, Emanuel Stewart, the man you're listening to, is the trainer of heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko. Louis Rahman was 7 years ago. And there's a lot of water under the bridge since then.
I hope so.
Good body shots by Taylor. Lacy drives him back with a right hand upstairs and comes back to crack him with another right hand. Jeff Lacy has gotten a foothold here in round 5. He didn't get credit for what appeared to be a knockdown.
But it told him that this is still a winnable fight.
You got to find your jab, man, and turn him. You're going back, straight back. Don't go straight back. Turn him. Come on, get back on the game plan. Come on.
That time they didn't count it, but that don't matter. You just keep hitting him with the same shots. All right? Yeah. And when you throw it sharp, come back with the hook. And when he grabs you, start hitting him in the body, on the legs. I don't care where you hit it. Rough him up on the inside, on the outside.
Here you see the right hand coming. Even though it didn't land clean on the chin, any blow that delivers to any upper part of the body from the waist on down that creates the opponent falling to the floor is legally considered a knockdown, even if it's a blow on the shoulder.
So it's a very close call. And you see there that the punch glanced off the shoulder, may have glanced off the head, and then Taylor went down with his feet going over Lacy's feet, and Cole decided not to call it a knockdown. But both fighters have treated that event as though it was a knockdown.
Yes. And I think right now you're going to see a good fight break out, because even though these guys have been not just on the team together in the Olympics until they were actually roommates, but both guys are fighters. I know Jermain protects, and he's going to fight.
There's a lot at stake for them.
It is. Both guys are at crossroads, as you say, and their whole careers are going to change after this, one way or the other.
And what was, before the middle of round 5, a fluid technical boxing match dominated by Jermain Taylor has suddenly become a rougher, more fractious brawl, and Jeff Lacy finally won a round on Harold Letterman's scorecard. And now Lacy is getting in the occasional big shot here and there. Now Taylor goes back to landing his jab. Probably his best method for fighting his way back into control.
You know, it's interesting. Jeff Left Hook Lacy is not really throwing too many left hooks. He's mainly depending on taking advantage of the right hand weakness of Jermain, which Bernard Hopkins did the first fight so successfully for 2 or 3 rounds near the end, and Kelly Pavlik.
I think the injury against Sipko permanently changed Jeff Lacy as a fighter and made him right hand dependent. Doesn't mean he can't fight.
But the mindset of both of these guys means that this is going to turn out to be a hell of a fight.
Break!
I've seen very bad fights between friends. Bones Adams and Kevin Kelly should have just gone to dinner and not even entered the ring. But this is turning out to be a violent fight. Last time 2 Olympic teammates fought each other was in 1994, when 1984 United States Olympic teammates Frank Tate and Virgil Hill fought for the second time in the light heavyweight division. Taylor trying to change the fight back in his favor with a big right hand over the top. Lacy partially deflected it by rolling his head.
Right.
Evander Holyfield, who is at ringside here, once fought an Olympic teammate, Henry Tillman, as a cruiserweight, I believe. It is rare.
Tillman was the guy who eliminated Mike Tyson from the 1984 United States Olympic team. Tyson got a chance to avenge that as a pro and knock Tillman out in 1 round. Taylor was looking for a knockout in that round.
Good comeback round for Taylor.
Good comeback. A lot of tremendous powerful straight right hands.
Right there. That's
And
what
most
we
of
want.
them
That's
landed.
the game plan right there. Hey, Jermain, I ain't saw not one body shot yet. When you get it inside, bend your knees inside. Let's work that body. Let's dig some hard shot to the body. Triple that damn hook up down to his body. Okay? Bend them knees inside. You can't do it. Stand straight up. Some water.
Jab and make short circles.
That jab's working. Keep it working, okay?
Gibbs.
All with one jab. Double, triple that jab up. Keep your head back. Don't get it out over the knee. Double it up, and then sharp right hand. Sharp left hooks. You understand what I'm saying? Don't come in with your head out.
CompuBox numbers show that in the 6th round, Jermain Taylor jabbed his way back into control of the fight, setting up his right hand, landing 21 of 39 punches overall against only 4 of 25 for Lacy. Taylor landed 11 jabs in the round. That was the tactical key. Harold, how do you have it halfway through the fight?
59-55, 5 rounds to 1. Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor. Jim, I don't know what the heck happened in the 5th round. I mean, to me, it was a clean knockdown. Jermain Taylor went down on the end of a punch. We all saw it. But what happens with the judges is that they're obligated to score a 10-9 rather than 10-8 because Lawrence Cole said no knockdown. So the truth of the matter is it cost Jeff Lacey a point. 59-55, 5 rounds to 1, Taylor.
You know, for the most part, Lacey's only throwing one effective punch, a right hand. And Jermain is punching with his jab, his right hand, and his left hook and uppercut. So he's at a big disadvantage. All Lacy's doing is basically focusing on trying to land the power right hand.
And one punch at a time.
One punch. His punches are not flowing together.
While Taylor has, in flurries, been able to throw combinations.
So far, all the conventional wisdom about this fight has turned out to be right. That Taylor was just too quick, and that he would pile up points with his jab and keep the opponent at the end of it.
See that? So that's the variety of punches that Jermain is throwing. His uppercut, left hooks, straight jabs, right hands.
You think that Taylor is so relaxed in part, Emmanuel, because they sparred so many rounds over the years that he feels he's really familiar with Lacy and his style?
That could be the case, but I think just in general, he's found out that he's fighting a guy that's primarily just fighting with one punch for the most part, and he can beat him with the jab. He can actually beat him with combinations and everything. He just got two. It's like giving one guy 5 weapons and one guy 1 weapon.
Lacy finally landed a good counter left hand. Was able to stick Taylor with a little left hook as Jermain was coming in. But most of the good counter shots in the fight have been thrown by Jermain Taylor. Lacy lunging forward, trying to land that right hand lead.
There's a lump beginning to form over the left eye of Lacy from that jab.
And there's a small pressure closing on the outside of Taylor's left eye, which has frankly been a regular occurrence in his last several fights. As they bombard each other down the stretch of the 7th round. On the campus of Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. We thought the promoter had caught a really bad break. The Vanderbilt football game was moved 11 days ago to prime time. But this arena is largely filled.
Nice round. Another nice round. A lot better. Come on, Jermain. You had him hurt over there. You let him hold on to you. Come on. You got to use it. You got to get him off of you. You got to bump him, okay? Get him angled. When you get him hurt this time, let's get him up out of there.
You got to get him on that jab and then let him rock right into that right hand.
Take a deep breath.
So keep stepping to your left and use your jab. As you step to your left, double that jab up, and then come your punches. When you force him to the corner, listen to me. When you force him into the ropes, it's like...
Here you see Jermain land a perfect right uppercut that is delivered when a guy is shooting the left jab and bending his head down.
And you saw the CompuBox numbers, which are ruthlessly one-sided, partially because Taylor is landing nearly half his punches in the fight. Pretty extraordinary, and a mark of of what a below-average defender at this level Jeff Lacy truly is. Emmanuel, one of the oldest stories in the sport is that of the promising career badly damaged by a single bad matchup, a single unfortunate beating. Is it possible Jeff Lacy's career would be different had he not been allowed to suffer the last 3 or 4 rounds of inevitability against Calzaghe in Manchester, England?
It could have been, but you know, Calzaghe destroyed him, I think, physically, mentally, and any other way possible. But Jeff is still fighting a very tough fight. I always felt that he was a little bit overrated. When he stepped up in class, his knockouts and the performances lacking because he was just not prepared. He's been mostly a physical fighter.
Against lesser opponents, and this would never happen with somebody like Taylor with his pedigree. But back in the day, against lesser opponents, Lacy actually intimidated some of his opponents before they ever got into the ring. They would simply look at the body and say, oh my God.
It was a miniature Mike Tyson type intimidation.
How am I going to fight him?
Well, he was an Olympian and a crowd-pleasing fighter, a tough guy, a good guy, and built an early record that suggested to many observers that he could be a serious fighter, but it never turned out that way.
His first professional fight actually had to be postponed by 2 days when the original opponent for his pro debut took one look at his body at the weigh-in and said, I'm walking away. And they had to go find somebody else to fight him 2 days later.
You should have asked him if he could have borrowed his body for a few hours.
Well, we'd all like that.
You know, Jermain is doing what any seasoned experienced fighter would do. A fighter's got one punch, you take that one punch away from him. And that's what Jermain is doing. He's taking away, for the most part, the right hand, and after that, Lacy doesn't have too much else to offer.
So do we have to start asking the question, does Taylor have to end this fight with an exclamation point to make himself the leading candidate to fight Calzaghe?
The one thing I will say for Lacy, even though he may be in outclass, he's still fighting with good intentions right now and a desire to win. So anything can happen in this fight. If Jermain gets tired or fatigued anywhere along the way, Lacy is standing in a position with his mindset to turn this fight around.
Another terrific right-left combination by Jermain Taylor. Lacy showing some heart, fights back with the right hand. Well, earlier on this undercard, you got the professional debut of the only medal-winning fighter on the Beijing Olympic team for the United States, heavyweight Deontay Wilder, 6 feet 7 inches, 23 years old, from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, against Ethan Cox. Watch the perfect counter right-hand shot right there. That was the best thing Wilder did in his 2 rounds against Cox. Shortly after that, he poured it on with another onslaught of right hands, and that produced the first victory of Wilder's career by knockout. We'll see if he can produce some excitement for the United States in the heavyweight division. Then Kermit Cintron, trying to rebound from his second loss to Antonio Margarito, fought tough veteran Lovemore Ndu in the welterweight division. And the greater skills and better hand speed of Cintron carried the day as he rolled to a unanimous decision victory. A step back toward good things for Kermit Cintron, who's only lost twice in his professional career, both losses to Antonio Margarito. Emmanuel, you used to train Cintron. What'd you think of the way he looked tonight?
I thought he looked pretty good. The guy he fought was very difficult to fight. That dude was basically smothering him for the most part and neutralized Herman's great punching power.
So Kermit had to grind out a decision victory. Not necessarily his profile as a fighter, but he got it done in professional fashion.
And he finished up strong in the 12th round.
CompuBox numbers through 8, as I mentioned, very one-sided. Taylor landing 133 to only 50 for Lacy, even though Lacy has actually thrown a few punches more. So great efficiency and great accuracy in the fight for Jermain Taylor, who has so far found Lacy an easy target for his jab and his right cross and his left hook, mostly thrown as counter punches.
Break! Step back. Come on, step back. Time! Time! Right there.
Mouthpiece. Taylor's came out. Nope. It was Lacy's mouthpiece that came out. Now replaced by Roger Bloodworth.
An old-time fighter named Ted Kid Lewis from London was the first one to use a mouthpiece. He had a dentist make him a mouthpiece. Fighters in those days would use oranges as mouthpieces, orange skins. And some fighters wouldn't fight him because they thought he had an advantage. I guess he did.
Excellent jabbing by Jermain Taylor. Pistol pumping the jab. One right after another.
Stop! Stop!
Did I say pistol pumping? I meant piston pumping.
Box!
I don't believe pistols pump.
Come on, let go.
Lacy lands a jab, stepping in. But as usual, one punch at a time for Jeff.
Stop! Mike!
It's desperation time for Lacy.
Coming down the stretch of the 9th round of a scheduled 12. Jermain Taylor has in all likelihood won all but a single round. A round in which Taylor went to the canvas, but Lacy was not given credit for a knockdown.
Didn't we see that fight last week?
Break time!
Set up. You understand what I'm saying? You're coming up, you're stopping and letting him set up. If you don't let him set, he can't get off. You got to give it all, baby, because you need every round. You need to take him out. You got to drop it.
Off of that jab, very important.
So ice on this neck.
Very important, off of that jab. You're winning the fight?
Yeah, yeah. Don't look good. I just don't want to give up nothing. Nothing. Don't even hold him. Say don't hold him.
Here you see Jermain working his, as you were saying, Jim, his pistols like left jab.
Yep.
And he's working it beautiful, too. He's really pumping it.
Seconds out!
And Lacy has no defense for it. And look at he even hooked off of the jab.
Time!
A little pop for the piston industry at this moment of the hoped-for bailout. Harold, any bailout for Lacy so far?
Man, not really. 89, 82, 8 rounds to 1, Jermain Taylor. Jim, I got to tell you something. You know, Jermain Taylor's doing a great job with his jab, with the straight right hands. He's punching him to death. He's mugging a guy. But he's also holding. In the 8th round, Lawrence Cole yelled, second warning for holding. Watch Jermain. A couple of good shots, and then he grabs him. What's happening is the holding is straight right there. You see he's holding him. He's holding Lacy. And it's frustrating the devil out of Lacy because Lacy can't punch when he's being held.
Is it
8-1, Taylor.
Is it tactical holding, or is his
Of course it's tactical
stamina,
holding.
or is his
It's
stamina,
tactical.
is his stamina issue beginning to arise?
I'm beginning to question that also, Larry.
Well, if the stamina issue is showing up, it sure as heck didn't hurt him much in round 9 when he landed 16 jabs and 26 total punches, both his high numbers for the fight.
Even when Lacy's punching, he still just doesn't land too many punches. It's ineffective aggression. So Jermain is smart. He's taking his breaks, tying him up, resting, taking it, and then explodes all of a sudden again.
I think the holding is created as much as anything by Lacy falling on him after lunging forward to try to land the punch. Right there. Lacy heard Roger Bloodworth telling him that he must drop Taylor. So he understands what it takes to have any chance to win the fight.
He has no defense at all for Jermain Taylor's jab. But Jermain does have a defense for Lacy's right hand. He puts his left hand up high, and that stops the right hand from coming through.
2 more right hands landing for Taylor. He's winging them a little wide now, and therefore some of the effect is lost.
Because he draws back. You can see the right hand coming, so even though he lands, it doesn't land with the effect that if he didn't see it. But Lacy doesn't have any defense. He just bends his body over to the right and just takes the jab with right hand. He doesn't roll his shoulders. He doesn't slip. He just bends slightly to his right and just chews him up.
Never round, baby.
This 11?
Never.
All right, listen. You're letting him slide on this. You set up, you hit him with a nice 1-2, but then you stand there and look at him and let him set up again, okay? Don't let him set up. Okay. Either move to your left, move to your right, but when you come with 2 jabs, and throw that right hand straight. Don't try to bring it over the top. Just throw it straight, come back with a hook. Put your combinations together. And he's going to
Just more to go, baby. Come on, let's work it. Don't give him nothing. Stay off the ropes. Keep him in the middle of the center ring and stay behind that jab. You told him that jab hook.
Beautiful.
Seconds out.
Combi box numbers in round 10, more of the same. Taylor 16 out of 46, Lacy 5 out of 36. The jab contest has been no contest. Taylor landing 95 of them through 10 rounds. Only 27 for Lacy. The jab contest wasn't supposed to be a contest.
Time, neutral corner.
Lacy was supposed to be able to
right there,
gain a foothold in the fight with power punches. Only in
cut
1
it,
round
Roger.
has it happened.
Time.
Five minutes, 47 seconds to go in the fight as both fighters get a breather. And the crowd expresses its appreciation for the most significant fight to take place in Nashville in decades.
Let go of him.
Jermain Taylor's fighting a very good technical fight, and I have to give a lot of credit also to his trainer Ozell Nelson and Dickie Woods, who did a great job, and the cut man Ray Rogers. He's fighting a very smart fight.
How do you see the equation of Taylor versus Calzaghe, Emmanuel?
Emmanuel, Taylor versus Calzaghe. How would that fight look?
Well, you know, Calzaghe is a very special guy. It would be very difficult for anybody I know right now to beat Calzaghe with this unusual, gifted talent that he's got, his condition, his ability to think and make adjustments, and to feel punches. But it would be a very interesting fight. Jermain Taylor that's fighting up here in front of me tonight would be a very competitive fight for anyone.
Well, I'll tell you, if the fight were to take place, it would probably have to be at 170. I couldn't see Calzaghe coming all the way back down to 168 at this point in his career. And frankly, his punches are straighter and are delivered more quickly than Jermain Taylor's. Taylor's tendency to let his punches swing wide would give Calzaghe a lot of opportunities, it seems to me.
It is, but it would be a very competitive fight. But Calzaghe right now, it's hard for me to go against him with anyone in boxing.
Anyone.
Well, if you bet
anyone
everyone
in 107, 68 to 75.
Well, if you bet every one of his fights, he'd be 46-0.
You know, the fact that he's been knocked down 5 times, 4 of them were in the first round.
Right hand by Taylor. Jermain Taylor is once again looking to try to finish Jeff Lacy and walk away with a knockout win. And this is very tough for Jeff Lacy to take.
Is that any way to treat an old pal, he's saying, looking at him plaintively?
He's being humiliated in a fight which Lacy himself described as a crossroads fight.
Lacy just doesn't have any defense for the punches. He just walks straight into the punches. And Jermain was actually, I think, getting tired of hitting him, so he has to take a rest after pounding on him.
Lacy himself openly said, if I can't win this fight, it's going to be hard to fight at this level again. He's got one more round to try to rescue disaster.
Hey, one more round. Come on, have another round like that. Another round like that. How was that round? That was good. That was good. That's good. You had him hurt again. Last round. Speed. Hey, all I want is speed. Don't do shit stupid.
Just throw it straight.
Okay.
And bring the hook behind it. And when he starts to tie you up, take that half step back and hit him in the legs, hit him in the body, hit him anywhere. Because he just tied you up trying to, you don't want to fight.
Hey, smart. The box smart around. Man, that chance come, get him on the rope. I mean, it rips a good hard shot to his body. He stands too straight up on the rope.
You gotta let your hands
Listen,
go.
don't leave your head hanging out over your knees. Right? Finish his ass.
Jermain Taylor has 5 children. 3 babies, 3, 2, and 1 with his wife, Erica Taylor, the former college basketball star. He bought his mother a house. He takes care of several members of his extended family. He probably has as many people for whom he is financially responsible as almost anybody near the top end of the sport. In that sense, even though he's made a ton of money, Emmanuel, he needed another big victory tonight.
He needed it in the worst way. You know, consider the fact it's been nearly a year and a half since he's won a fight. And he needs what he's getting tonight. Not only a victory, but an impressive victory. Because you have to keep the earning power that he has right now. A third loss or either unimpressive victory would have tremendously diminished his earning ability.
All those responsibilities, plus all the toys he's bought for himself, tends to keep a fighter hungry.
Well, and you know, after the 2 losses to Pavlik, by his own admission, he needed time to walk away, take a rest, think about his commitment to the sport. But under the circumstances, and despite the fact he has obvious tactical advantages over Jeff Lacy, it has to rank as one of the biggest victories, if not the biggest, and one of the most impressive performances of Taylor's career.
Well, he's done what he was supposed to do. Yeah. I can't say he's looked spectacular, but he's done exactly what he was supposed to do.
I agree with you.
To move into the next act of his career.
And he's showing seasoning. This is finally the first time in his career that he's showing seasoning as a fighter. He's had some rough experiences, but he's showing seasoning. He's placing his punches. He's tying up his opponent, doing a lot of variety of punches. Very, very smart, intelligent fight.
He looks like a veteran fighter in there tonight.
Yes, he does.
Has anybody we've ever gone on about like this to the end of the fight wound up getting knocked out?
No, we're perfect. Of course not. 1 minute to go. Taylor hitting Lacy as he comes in. Lacy with no defense against Jermain Taylor's left hand. His jab and his left hook, both supreme weapons tonight. Good right hand for Taylor, drives Lacy back into the ropes.
You couldn't say he's trying to carry his old pal. He's still trying to hurt him.
Stop! Don't push down. Don't push down. Step back.
In about 4 or 5 minutes, once this decision is announced, Jermain Taylor is going to tell Larry Merchant that he wants to fight Joe Calzaghe.
You think so?
Or to fight Hopkins again, or to fight Pavlik again. But he's going to want more big fights.
There are some pretty good little fights out there for him as well as against some of the title holders until a big one appears. Sometimes you can't force the big one to happen.
A fight with Kessler would be a sensational matchup.
A dangerous fight as well.
With Joe Calzaghe moving up to light heavyweight, I would probably say Kessler is the probably best super middleweight in the world today, by most of the boxing people's opinion.
A harder hitter than Lucien Boutte. Boutte is unbeaten, and some of Boutte's luster disappeared in the last minute of his fight against Libado Andrade when he barely made it to the finish line a couple weeks ago, but he won the fight. Bottom line is we'll see what happens to Taylor in the future. It's inconceivable that he's done anything other than to earn a unanimous decision victory over Jeff Lacey tonight. As inconceivable as it would have been a week ago for one of those scorecards to be for Jones instead of Calzaghe. CompuBox numbers in the last round, Taylor landing 24 to only 6 for Lacy.
Good night's work.
Jim, before the fight, you had said that you thought that the fight would probably be a unanimous 12-round decision, like many other people, and it turned out to be you was right on the money in favor of Jermain Taylor.
Yeah, well, I think that was probably the general consensus expectation coming in, that Jermain Taylor would roll to a decision victory. Let's see if Michael Buffer fulfills that for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Oren Schellenberger and Gail Van Oy both score it 119-109. Joe Pasquale scores it 118-110. All to the winner by unanimous decision. Now the #1 ranked WBC mandatory contender in the world, Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor.
CompuBox numbers will reflect a numerical landslide for Taylor, even more one-sided than what Calzaghe did to Jones last week. Taylor landing 138 more punches over the course of 12 rounds, even though Lacy threw one more punch during that time frame. When you land 48% of your punches in the fight, you have taken your opponent to the cleaners. Part of the big margin, Taylor landing 78 more jabs while throwing only 43 more and tripling Lacy's connect percentage on that punch. But it was really power punches where Taylor even more easily won the fight. This is where Lacy was supposed to try to compete. And Taylor lands 60 more power punches while throwing 44 fewer than Jeff Lacey. And again, if you land 57% of your power punches, you have annihilated the man in front of you. Let's go to Larry Merchant with Jermain Taylor.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Jermain.
Thanks, Larry.
Did this fight unfold the way you expected it?
You know, it was a comeback fight. I took a long layoff. I knew Jeff was strong. I knew he was going to launch with his punches. I knew all I had to do was just box him. You know, I just fight my fight when he come in. I knew he threw a lot of looping punches. So just let him throw it.
Does that come from having sparred hundreds of rounds with him, that you felt relaxed because you know what he had?
I didn't spar hundreds of rounds with him, but I sparred him enough to know him, you know, enough to know what he got. And I just did what I had to do, man. Just did what I had to do to win. It's a comeback fight. I'm going to come back.
When you went down, did you think it was a knockdown?
No. I'm proud of the referee. Did a great job of not calling the knockdown because I slipped. He stepped on my toe and I slipped. I don't even know if he stepped on my toe, but I know it was a slip. It wasn't no knockdown.
When you say it's a great comeback fight, how do you envision the next part of your career? Do you think you can regain the stature you had previously?
It's all about getting your confidence back up. You know, the more fights you win, the more confidence you get. You know, and I feel like, you know, this fight was a confidence builder. You know, Jeff, the hardest hitting guy I know. You know, if I could take his punches, you know, I still got it. You know, even though I've been knocked out before. You know, so I was a little rusty in there, but I feel like I fought my fight.
Would you like to go direct to fighting Joe Calzaghe, or would you rather fight some other 168-pounder with a title?
Like I said, Larry, I'm on a comeback, man. I'll fight whoever. If they put Joe in there next, then it'll be Joe next. So whoever they want me to fight, that's what I'll do.
Your promoter, Lou DiBella, told me earlier in the ring a few minutes ago that if Calzaghe is there, that's who you would want. And you're happy with that decision from people who are your management.
I've been with Lou ever since I started. You know, I trust, he's my right-hand man. I trust him. You know, he's the one who brought me to the world title. And hopefully he can bring me back again.
Thank you again. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I love you, Little Rock, Arkansas, baby.
Jim?
Always. I love you.
Big night for Little Rock, Arkansas.